From Saturday night, a lot of it came down to us just not making enough plays, and that's in a big ball game. We're pretty evenly matched teams. You've got to be able to make some plays, and kind of I think a big turning point of that game is we probably were going to go ahead 3-0 or 7-0, and we get a deflected ball and under 5 minutes left in the half, and they take it down and intercept that, get good field position, and then take it in and score and. Down 7-0 as opposed to either being up 3-0 or up 7-0, but give them credit, they made a play. So, but we'll move forward, and like we talked on Saturday, that game won't define us, and it's one game in a long season, and all of our goals are still in front of us, and we haven't met with the guys yet. We start that this afternoon, and we'll have practice tonight and go from there. So I'll take any questions.
Coach, what is the message when you meet with your team today?
It's time to start focusing on Missouri State. We can't let the same team beat you twice, and we're going to go into an environment that I don't know how many people will be there. It's senior day for them, but I think it's supposed to be a pretty chilly day down in Springfield, and so whether they have 18,000 people, which I hope they do for Coach Allen, or if they have 5,000 people, we've got to be able to play our game. And this is more about the Bison than it is about the Bears, and we've got to be able to have a great week of preparation and move forward. And I want to see smiles on their face when we come into here at 5 o'clock. I don't want to see guys down in the dumps, for crying out loud. We've won 9 ball games this year. Let's move forward.
Coach, it's a position that a lot of the guys on the team haven't ever been in, coming off the loss, and a lot of guys haven't been in a while. What do you expect from those?
They'll bounce back. I think they'll bounce back. It's not the end of the world. We lose a football game. A lot of schools lose many games, and this school happened to lose one, and probably going to lose another one somewhere along the line, and it's all right. And so our kid, we've got great seniors. You guys know every one of those seniors, and what am I going to do? Be mad at those guys? For crying out loud, they've won 3 national championships and won so many games. They'll be ready to go, and they'll have the guys ready to go.
What is it about the environment there? Is it the lack of people? I know they've renovated the stadium, but you've been there now. You've been there, obviously, at prior stops. What makes it such difficult to play down there?
It's a good question. I'm interested to see the renovations of the stadium. I heard it's beautiful. I heard it's a great setup. But you're right. Just dating back, I wasn't here in 2010, but I guess that was a really tough battle that NDSU lost. And then in 2012, we were down early and had to battle back to win 21-17, I think. And I wish I could put my finger on it. We're going to treat it like a home game, though, because according to BG, we get to wear our green jerseys because they're going to go all white. So we're going to treat it like a home game and wear our green jerseys and go down there and play. And I don't know what the environment will be like, but it'll be better than what it's been, simply because you don't have the track around the stadium. I think we're in a different locker room, and I think the locker room setup's much better than it's been. So we'll all have a learning experience.
Carson's a competitor. He was held out of the end zone this week. What are you expecting from him this week in practice, and kind of his determination to kind of right the offense this week?
Well, I think the first thing is you'll get a full week of practice. He came out of the game feeling really good, and like I said last week, he didn't practice on Monday and then was limited in his reps Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I think he'll have a full week of practice because he didn't re-aggravate the ankle at all. And so I think that'll help. As far as the timing, as far as his rhythm with our offense, that just him practicing all week will be a big lifting deal for our offense.
Has he missed some passes? He missed some open guys. I think it was the 3rd or 4th quarter. He had a couple of guys open on that same drive, and he missed them pretty badly. Do you attribute that to?
Part of that, we didn't quite, looking back, we didn't run the route exactly maybe the way we needed to. In the same respect, Carson was under duress quite a bit of the day, and maybe that played into it as well. But we definitely dialed up 2 really good plays and just misfired on them. And that's the game of inches in football. You hit those things, and maybe it's a different story, but we misfired on them.
Looking at Missouri State, what do you guys have to do to go down there and get a win and not turn it into 2 losses?
Oh, well, we've got to play a clean game, and we talked about last week not turning the football over, and our first 2 turnovers led to a 10-0 lead for Northern Iowa. So we've got to be able to have a clean game. If it's going to be a cold, windy day or a wet day, the way you win that game is at the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. Our line play's got to be exceptional, and then we've got to be able to make those plays. You know, we talked about not making enough plays. It's critical for our guys to get back in the good feeling of making plays.
How did your old line grade out? I know you guys do those percentages. I mean,
Pretty average, like you'd expect, Jeff. I mean, we rushed for 40-some yards, so it probably wasn't our best play up front. But you know, give credit to you and I. I thought that's a really senior-laden defense, especially in the interior, and I thought those guys did a great job.
Can you adjust in game on how a game is being called by the officials? I mean, you have one penalty call one week and then 12 last week. Is there anything you can do?
It's hard. It really is. It's just you just got to get a feel for how the game goes. But you know that didn't determine anything by any means. It's just we just got to adjust to how it's being called. You bet.
Was there one thing you looked at the tape that screamed out from earlier this season when you saw the UNI game that you had been doing? Was this completely different what you saw Saturday from the previous 9 games?
From ourselves or for them?
You guys.
No, we ran into a good football team at their place. I thought the crowd noise took us out of a lot of motions, you know, and that's something that we're able to do at home is motion and shift and do all these things. It's really difficult to do that on the road. We find that in playing people here, that if you see a bunch of motion on tape, and Randy Hedberg's a great example of that. Randy said you can forget about running a bunch of motion inside the Fargo Dome, and we tried to do it early and just missed time. Had some mistiming things. So we just got beat by a good team. Really, that's bottom line.
How do you defend against a quarterback, Harris,
He's a great player. As he goes, they go. I've been really impressed with him for a number of years. He throws it really well. He's mobile in the pocket. He'll take it and run. They have some design run for him. They'll get him out of the pocket on sprint out and some naked bootlegs. We've got to do a great job containing him. And he's a special athlete that is going to play his senior day, and so I know he'll be motivated to win his last home football game. So that's as you get late in the season, now you start getting into these senior days, whether you're on the road or at home, and you know, a group becomes more focused, trying to, especially those underclassmen, trying to get those seniors that last win at home. And so that's the other thing that we've got to go into is understand that they're going to be extremely motivated. I don't care what their record is; they're going to be extremely motivated to beat the Bison.
you know, you're a friend of Terry's, and it's been publicly speculated about his future. What's your reaction to that? What, you know, as a fellow coach?
Yeah, it's hard because I don't know what's going on down there. I just know what kind of person he is. I know he's a great football coach, but he's a better person, and you know, Terry will be okay, but you know, you always worry about assistants and those other things. I don't know what's going to happen down there. I hope they all keep their job. I've got some friends on that staff. Jamar Cain's got all friends on that staff. It's a great staff, and they've done some tremendous things down there, and I hope they continue on there because they're great people, and Terry's one of my favorite.